Alrighty, we are on Unit 2, Lesson 2. We're going to talk about thousands to thousandths. So please notice the difference in what I said there, thousands to thousandths. So that THS that we talked about last lesson means that we're going into decimal form. So we're going to work towards rewriting numbers and modeling them from thousands to thousandths. And you'll be working through that, different ways to represent numbers. So when I say different ways to represent numbers, these are the different ways down here. Standard form, word form, expanded form, and then the power of 10. So we're going to start out by looking at those. You need SAB pages 37 through 38. That was a nice swoop of my purple pen there. Yep, I know. Okay, so this page, we're going to start with talking about this and how we think about place value. So when we start with place value, we've got the thousands here. Let me grab my highlighter so I can highlight in some different colors. So thousands are here in yellow, okay? Then we've got hundredths here in green, tens in blue, and ones in a purpley pinky color. Yep. All right. Those are all on the left side of the decimal. Then if we look on the right side of the decimal, there's no ones there, but there's tenths, hundredths, and thousandths, okay? And so those are all the smaller pieces. You can move between place value by multiples of 10, right? We go from a 1 to a 10 by multiplying by 10. We go from a 10 to 100 by multiplying by a 10. We go from 100 to 1,000 by multiplying by a 10. We go the other direction. We go from a 1 to a tenth by dividing by 10. A tenth to 100th by dividing by a 10. And a 100th to 1,000th by dividing by 10. So we can make those numbers and break them apart using place values. So we can take a 5 that's in the ones place value and place it in the ones place value, and we've got a 5. And we can take a 3/10 and place it in the tenths place value for 3/10. Okay, so we can break those apart. When we think about using this decimal here, a lot of times I start thinking about money, because money always has a decimal, okay? And so that's what this piece down here along the bottom is kind of helping us understand. The difference between 1,000, 100, a 10, a 1, a dime, a penny, and a tenth of a penny. So anytime I'm kind of working with decimals and I get a little confused, I always revert back to money, because who doesn't like money? This girl definitely does. So think about money when you're in doubt. So let's take a look at a number in place value. So to have 5 and 34 hundredths, we take a 5 in the ones place, a 3 in the tens place, and a 4 in the thousands place. Did you guys notice what I said for this decimal? Let me say it again, and you can tell me what it is when you guys come to class. 5 and 34 hundredths. So a decimal is represented with the word and, okay? And then I say the place value of the rightmost, the smallest decimal. So that's the place value I want to use when I'm stating them, okay? This top one would be an expanded notation of this number, okay? So that would be expanded notation. So like I said at the beginning, we're going to learn multiple ways to represent them. So standard form is when we have them just written out straight away, okay? Word form is when we don't use any numbers, but it's all words, right? Because we write out using our words. Expanded form is where we use the addition signs to break apart the place value. And powers of 10 is we say what those digits would be multiplied by. I should have put that in a different color. Sorry about that. Let's see. Undo. Let's go with a different color. Expanded form is when we say what we would multiply those numbers by to get them into their correct place value. So what we would multiply a ones place value by to get it into the correct place value that we want. So let's try this out on some. We're going to turn this first one into word form. So we've got, I'm just going to literally type away what I would say if I said it out loud, right? So I've got 12,000, right? Because I say that comma as 1,000, 12,000. Then I say 12,402. And I don't say the word and. That number is not said 12,402. There's no decimal there. That number is said 12,402. Very clear? Got to be clear and careful about how you say it. So then if we were to put this into expanded form, we would come down here and in expanded form, we would say 10,000 plus 2,000 plus 400 plus 2. Okay? Expanded powers of 10. Little bit more challenging. Okay, so it's 1 times 10,000 plus, not an N, 2 times 1,000. I'm going to throw these into parentheses so that we know they're grouped together, that these are the things that we would do together, right? And then plus, not equals, plus 2, I did 2 times 1,000, 4 times 100. And then plus 2. Let me stretch that out so it's all on one line for you guys. Okay? So that's how we would write it out in expanded notation. This one should be times 1. Yeah? All right. So let's try this next one. It's been written in word form, and we're going to take it to standard form. So standard form is literally just writing it out. 8. The word and means a decimal. 305,000. 305 thousandths. Okay? That THS is really important because it tells me it goes into decimal form. Okay, so then if I do it in expanded form, what I'm going to do is I'm going to do 8 plus 3/10 plus 5/100. Oops, I need my decimal. Okay? And that would be my expanded notation. I can or cannot put a 0 in front to hold those place values. If it makes better sense for you to have that 0 there, go ahead and write it there. If that's going to help you in organizing your place value, go for it. If not, no worries. Okay, so now on to powers of 10. Whoop, hello. Alrighty, so powers of 10, right? So we would have 8 times 1 in parentheses, plus parentheses 3 times 1/10, okay, plus parentheses 5 times 1,000 parentheses, okay, and that would be our expanded powers of 10. Okay, because I'm multiplying it by the power of 10 that gets it into the proper place value. Okay, so what I would like you guys to do, use those examples that I gave you. There's only 2 more problems. There's this one here, write it in standard form, expanded form, and word form. Write the next one here that's in powers of 10 form. See if you can convert it to standard form, word form, and expanded form. And we'll take a look at those when you guys come back to class. So make sure you guys have those done, and we will explore our place value a little bit more when you guys come back to class. See you then.